Hi everyone, this is Kim from Mark from Author Chat. I am the author of the book series, The Chronicles of Nadine. And today I've got with me Jann. Jann, I have no idea how to pronounce your surname, so can you please tell us how to pronounce your surname?
Hi.
So Jann,
okay, it's pronounced Weeratunga.
Weeratunga. And where is that from?
I was Maitro Sri Lankan.
Okay.
Although I'm born and bred in the UK, British.
Okay, very interesting. Jann does a series of books that are related to anti-bullying and also understanding disabilities. And so I believe on the 3rd of December in South Africa, it's going to be Disability Day. And so it's actually nice to be able to chat about that particular topic in this forum. Jann has got a series of books that she's written that appeal to that particular market. And I'm going to ask Jann to tell us a little bit about the books and why she decided to start writing in that particular genre.
Okay. Right, so I decided to write in that genre. I love watching the Olympics and the Paralympics, and at the close of the London 2012 Paralympics, Sir Philip Craven, who's in a wheelchair himself, was actually relating a story, and he was relating about how a mum was reading a book to her son. And the book was Treasure Island, and in it there was a pirate with one eye, one arm, one leg. And she turned around to her son and she said, "My boy, you know, who's this?" And he turned around and said, "Well, Ma, he's got one eye, one arm, one leg. He must be a Paralympian." Such, and there you go, I go goosebumpy every time I tell the story, but such was the strength of the London Paralympics that he didn't see the disabilities. He just saw this character that had to be an Olympian. So he answered his mum, "Well, he's an Olympian." So I suddenly thought, well, hang on a minute, pirates, one eye, one arm, one leg, disabilities, and athletes, the same. And I Googled it and there was nothing. Nobody had made the connection. So I decided to come up with a series of books called Polly's Paralympics, which is Paralympics for pirates. And there's actually 7 that are sort of out. There's one due to come out, so that'll be the 7th, and I'm actually writing book 10 at the moment. Can I just show the covers very, very quickly here for you to have a quick look? So Here we go. Here's some of the covers. There we go. And here's Polly. So Polly's the little character I have as a puppet. She comes with me as well. We go every. So I actually have 6 of these, and they go with me into schools. I decided there weren't enough books for children that have disabilities. She gave me a big hug, and they always call me Auntie Polly because they don't really realize my name's not Polly. And yes, Polly, okay, Polly, behave yourself. No, you've got to behave yourself. Go and sit down. Oh gosh, now I've upset her. All right. She'll stay quiet for a little while. So they call me Auntie Polly, and she came running up, and she had a beautiful, beautiful prosthetic leg. It was white with pink butterflies on it, and it was a blade. And she came running up to me, and she said, Auntie Polly, thank you so much for writing these books for me." And at that stage, I'd only written the first one. And then I had other children saying to me, "But where does Polly come from?" Now, you're going to tell them, are you? So Polly comes, and she gets by evil 2-legged destroyers. You can guess who they are. And she gets shipped off to Scotland, where she meets Captain Hake. And Captain Hake is a pirate. So they have lots of adventures, one of which is where they actually find the prosthetics. Because as you can see, I don't know, can you see that? Polly has one good eye, and she was born without an eye. So she actually has a little bit of a disability herself. And they find all of these, and they decide to share them with the other pirates. And then Polly comes up with a really good idea, and she actually invents the idea of the Paralympic Games for the pirates. So hence Paralympics. And there's a whole series now. They have various adventures across the world. And there you are. She's going to lie down and be quiet for a little while. And they have, we have pirates from the sisters, the girls. They come in as sort of book 4. We have Scottish pirates. We have Scandinavian pirates. We have turbaned Indian pirates. We have Maori pirates. We have South African Zulu pirates. So we have a lot of different pirates that come through. The latest pirates to join are from the Caribbean, Jamaican pirates, and they are actually in a submarine, which is a little bit different because the others are all in the typical sort of galleon type old-fashioned pirate ships that we think about, but with a difference. They have lifts and they have all the radar and technology that we have today with us. So it's a mixture of swords, galleons, cannons, but into that we have radar, telephones, pyrograms, you know, all of that mixed together. So that's really, if you like, the books in a nutshell.
Excellent. And then, so how did schools start catching on to the fact that that you had these kinds of books available?
I went to a local school in the East Rand, and they sort of basically spread the word. You know, I actually chatted to the grade 2s and 3s, and they actually wanted to buy the book. So I thought, oh, this is quite good. So they bought the book, and then they told their friends. And as you know, word of mouth works better than anything else that we use. And so from word of mouth, I ended up going through, I think in that first 6 months, 20 schools here in Johannesburg. And from there, I did also a tour down to the Eastern Cape. I was supposed to go back there this year, but COVID sort of knocked that on the head a little bit, but that's okay. We will get back there. And next year, I've just been invited to go out to the Middle East. So who knows?
That sounds incredibly exciting. When is the trip to the Middle East supposed to be?
Well, because of COVID and borders opening and everything, it's not set in stone yet. We're looking at between April and June. And linking up with, well, I've actually been invited out on a month-long tour at the moment across 4 different countries. So let's see if that all comes about. It will be very exciting if it does. And I'm looking forward to it, yes.
Excellent. Jann, I wanted to ask you if there are people, because everyone always says there's a story inside them when they want to make a difference in the world, but when it comes to actually making a difference through books, that is a completely different ballpark. You know, it takes a lot of commitment to write a book and then to actually get that cause known about. What advice would you give to them?
Don't give up. If you've got that book inside you, if you've got that drive, that story or whatever that you want to get out there, don't give up. Don't let anybody persuade you not to do it. Find the time, even if you have to get up 2 hours before you normally would to write, because you then have to go to work and come home and maybe you have to look after children, whether a man or a woman, you know, the chores still have to get done. Find the time, write the book. There is a story inside each one of us. Some of us, for myself, it's the disabilities and the anti-bullying, which I'm passionate about. So when you have that passion, just put your hands on the keys or pick up a pen, but write it.
I want to ask you about the bullying because I actually covered bullying inside my 3rd book, but obviously my audience is older than your audience. When it comes to the disabilities, is there sometimes a correlation between disabilities and bullies? Do kids who have got disabilities get more targeted for bullies in some cases?
I think it depends on what part of the world they live in. If you're in an integrated school, then yes, I think they can be. But very often, children with disabilities are in special schools. They're in special schools with special needs. So they're surrounded by people who love them, care about them, encourage them, bring out their strengths. But where you have a situation when they're in an integrated school, then yes, they can become targets simply because they're different. And being different is actually being special. And that's one of the things that I talk to children about when I go in to schools. And, you know, I went into one school, there were twins, and one of them wears a hearing aid. And I was chatting to him about how special he is, you know, that he actually has something that nobody else has in his school, and that's a hearing aid. So, and likewise with the little girl with the prosthetic leg, and I sort of said to her, you know, can you run really fast? And she said, when I bounce off my prosthetic leg, I can. So when you actually make children feel special, and they're very, very special, that bullying element, the others sort of then sort of think, well, hang on a minute, you know, I haven't got that. And in fact, one of my stories, I actually have a pirate who pretends to only have one eye, but he actually gets caught out because he's fencing and he keeps swapping his patch from one side to the other. But he actually pretends to only have one eye because he wants to fit in with all the other pirates. So I think we always want to fit in with whatever we perceive to be normal around us. And if we're not seen to be normal, then people will try and bully, and they will try and pick at us. So what we have to do is realize we're actually very special, and we have something that they don't.
And on that note, what advice would you give to parents? Because I do find, you know, because I write in the teen and young adult genre, I do find that there's a lot of self-esteem issues that people have that they carry over into the teen and young adult stage. And some of that can be stemmed to some things that happen at home. And it doesn't mean that people are bad parents. It just means that they are not fully in tune with what young people are feeling. I mean, I remember I've got a very, very devoted father, but one of my earliest conflict memories with my dad was when I was feeling a bit stressed about school, and then he said to me, you don't even know what stress means. And, you know, for me, I was like, but my stress is actually very real. I've got like a real problem, because you learn according to, you know, what you handle stress according to what your abilities are. So what's small for one person is big for another person. What kind of advice would you give to parents who've got kids who are either being bullied or have disabilities and are struggling with self-esteem issues? What can they do to support them?
Okay. All right. I think you have to, number one, listen to them. You know, listening is so important, because what seems to be, and in your case, your father, a flippant, what it is, major to you. So what might seem as something small to the adult can be absolutely earth-shattering for a child. And so you need to listen to them, and not sort of put them down on it. You know, you can't always be there to defend them, so they do need to learn to stand up for themselves, but they have to be able to learn to do that in such a way that they build up their friendships. Now, when you have friends around you, the bullies and the nasty kids will tend to stay away a bit more. So, you know, teach your children, don't go to the bathroom during break on your own. You know, make sure you've got your little group of friends and you will go together. Make sure you've got your friends around you. You know, when a bully is singled out or finds themselves on their own, they tend to back down. Whereas when a bully is in the majority and they've got their little gang with them and you're on your own, then they tend to think that they're strong. But what you have to do is disable, disempower the bully. And the best way, I believe, to do that is if they're picking fun of, say, something you're wearing or the way you look, just say, well, I like the way I look. I like my maxed tackies. I don't want those Nike ones. Everybody's got those Nike ones. So what you're doing is you're disabling him or her. When they come back at you, you know, you actually, if you've got a friend with you, get your friend to back you up so you can actually talk to your child about chatting to their friends, so that if their friends are being bullied, your child will back them up, and if they're being bullied, that child will back your child. So what you're doing is you're disempowering the bully. If the bully has no power over you, he's not going to carry on bullying you. So by saying to them, you know, I like my bobble hat. And then by your friend saying, yeah, I think her bobble hat's really cool. I wish I had a bobble hat as well. All of a sudden, that bobble hat is something that everybody wants. And it's not something to be made fun of anymore. Or the tackies from the supermarket are no longer something to be pointed fun at because you haven't got the latest, most expensive pair of tackies that are out on the market, which your parents, you know, quite truthfully, I don't think any parents can afford them. So that would be my general advice. I don't know, did that answer your question?
Yes, you did. That was actually excellent advice. I really appreciated it. And it was very simple things that kids can do. It's not very highfalutin. Anyone can actually do those particular tactics. So I really appreciate that. Jann, if someone wanted to buy your book, so obviously the audience for this particular meeting is going to be both South African and international. But if someone wanted to buy your books, how would they go about doing that?
Right. If they look up my name, or they look up Polly's Paralympics or Paralympics for Pirates, they should find me on Google. I'm selling on Amazon, so my books are available on Amazon, as well as the series I have for younger children, which is Tukani. So both those series are up there. So, you know, you should be able to sort of go in there and you should be able to find me on Amazon. For those that haven't got Amazon, probably best if you just come directly to me. I do also have a website, which is www.kidsbookswithoutborders.com. You can contact me through that. You can I have my email address up on there. So, you know, there are a number of ways. If you're in South Africa, what I'll do is I'll wrap it up, sign it, pop it in the post to you. If you're overseas, you can get it on Amazon. And what I have done overseas, I actually had a grandmother come to me and said, oh, but Jann, you were supposed to come to Northern Ireland and I really wanted you to sign my books. And again, COVID put the kibosh on that. So what I did, I actually signed sticky labels for her. I posted them out to her, and she then bought the set of books for her grandchildren, and she stuck the sticky labels in the front. It's not 100% quite the same as meeting the author, but it was pretty darn close. And we had a little bit of a Zoom meeting just to say, hi, how are you? They asked a couple of questions about the books, and I'm always prepared to do that. So if somebody really would like a signed copy, obviously that's a little bit difficult to get out to you, but I can sign some sticky labels. You can put them into the book, and when you're ready to give the book, let me know. We'll have a quick Zoom with the kids and I can chat to them, or a school. I'm actually going into schools overseas now, and the kids can then ask any questions they like.
That's fabulous. I love the sticky note idea because it's one of those things, you know, people often have an all or nothing mentality, but I like that idea a lot. So Jann, thank you very much for popping onto the author chats with us, and we look forward to seeing the new works from you. From everyone, I'll post in the bottom Jann's website and so an Amazon link for one of her latest books. So thanks very much for being here, and thank you everyone for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and let us know if there's any other videos you'd like to watch, and if you've got questions specifically related to bullying or awareness for disabilities, pop them into the chat as well, and I will get Jann to answer those for you. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.